Nobody showed me the way. It doesn't matter which turn I make.
Hey YouTube. Alright, you're seeing in front of my Fair Trade coffee house in the morning. Saturday morning, I'm getting ready to... Actually, I'm going to use this part of this for 2 videos. Fair Trade Cafe. Family friendly. People outside chilling. It's kind of cool. This week's topic on the Butch Film Group is about coming out. I'm going to have some photos on there from a local magazine that we use called Echo Magazine. I think they're in other states too, but I don't know which one. Anyway, they talk about youth and coming out in there, and there's a really good article on there about an out camp for LGBT youth. And I think it's October 11th. Yeah, October 11th is October 11th. Sorry, I was checking my phone. There's somebody walking by his phone. October 11th is I think National Coming Out Day. And our topic on the Butch Film Discussion Group this week, Sunday coming up, is going to be on coming out in your coming out story, basically. As I shared in one of my previous videos, I actually didn't come out until I was about 18. I really busted down the door probably at the age of 21. My mother, as I said, already kind of knew what I was, without question. She already pretty much knew. So she knew what I was. I mean, you can fight it all you want. Your child is what your child is. Reasons behind it, I don't know. Are you born this way? Is it a choice? Whatever. I don't know. I don't get all caught up in that. It is what it is kind of person. I'm just like, this is what it is. But I came out when I was 18. At least I started going on the scene a little bit. I was working for a hotel company in their airline sales department. I remember that. And while working there, I met a gay man. I can't use his name because you'll never ever probably meet him. If you do, you won't know him. His name was Dean. And I met him, and Dean happened to have been a former Mormon missionary. That's really the funny part. He was a Mormon missionary. I have a strong Christian background, and he has a strong religious background as well with the Mormon church. And Mormons, as we know some of their history, they weren't really fond of African Americans. But Dean didn't care for me at first. And gradually, though, strangely enough, and I won't get into how the friendship formed, although it's a very interesting story, we actually became friends, and he took me to my first gay bar and bought me my very first drink when I was 21 years old. So that's probably my first time out on the scene here in Arizona. And I had left the hotel industry and went to work for a long-distance company that was very family-friendly. I mean, even back, that was 89, 90. And about 90, I ended up working for this long-distance company, which had already, they gave same-sex partner benefits, which was, like, amazing back in the early 90s, right? And I hooked up with a group of other people, and we ended up going to a lesbian and gay, what they call a youth group, anybody under the age of 23, so it could be anywhere from 13 to 23. And we met at a place called the Phoenix Shanty. And the Phoenix Shanty was an AIDS hospice. So, needless to say, I'm very well versed in diseases, because we had a lot of the people there from the clinic come in and talk to us, as well as some of the patients there. And I'm very on a safe person. When it comes to sex, I definitely believe in being tested, whether you are lesbian or a gay man. It kills me because I think a lot of lesbians think they can't transmit diseases, but you'll get your feelings hurt, you can. As far as we've come, looking at this article, and I read it, and they've started a camp for gay and lesbian, transgendered, queer youth here in Arizona. How far we have come. I remember going to the youth group that I went to, Community Has Come, and it took, from my time, over 20 years to It would have been a day that you could see two women walk on the street hand in hand, and especially in Arizona, we're a Republican state. And now we're borderline being a Democratic state. Hallelujah, changed. Really, really changed. But my coming out story is pretty simple. My mom was very negative. I got kicked out. It's been very interesting. My life has been interesting. And it's really nice to kind of go back and think on it. I really can't say I had any negative in my coming out experience. I mean, other than the situation with my mother, but it really wasn't me coming out to her. It was her, I think, guessing and she's just kind of an angry lady, being who she is. So that didn't really matter to me on her. But as far as, I do have one situation. I almost forgot about it. I did come out to my best friend in high school. I almost forgot about that. And we talk to each other even today, and we were still friends. I did want to talk about that. I came out to her my sophomore year of high school, told her what I was, and she really had a difficult time with it. Luckily enough, her father he worked for Child Protective Services, so he was a really the guy was just an awesome guy. He was truly a unique black man. He raised his kids on his own, which was really, no offense to black men who do it, thank God for you, but that's very rare in the black community to see a black male take his two children and feel that they were Asian and black mixed, and he felt that a black man should raise black children. So, not knocking anybody with interracial kids, but that was his views at the time. And he raised them, and so he noticed that my best friend wasn't hanging with me too much, and he basically told her, he said, "What's up with you and Shannon?" And she's like, "Well, Shannon just recently told me she's gay." And her dad said, "Okay." And she goes, "Well, I don't know that I want to be around that." And he said, her name's Jane. He said, "Jane, Shannon's a good kid. This is what I do for a living is kids." He said, "And that's a good kid." He said, "She'll never, ever come on to you. She'll never let anything happen to you." He says, "And I know you're going to meet all sorts of people in this life. But that friendship right there is a lifelong friendship. It's just something I can tell. We're still friends to this day." So, all I can tell you is that we're still best friends. I haven't seen her in years. Father passed away. She joined the Army out of high school. I stayed here and went to college. And she called me late one night and told me her father had passed away. He had a disease called, I think it's called sclerodermia, where all the vital organs hardened. They'd never shared it with her. Neatest man you'd ever meet. But that's kind of my coming out story and how it was received. Hope that helps you. And I hope it helps some youth. I'm going to put some photos on here and a link to Echo Magazine on the story about the Out Youth group. I think that are the outdoors youth camp. I just thought that was phenomenal. I'll put a link on my page and I'll show you some photos that I took from the magazine. And I'll put Echo's web address over there or there. I always get it mixed up. So you can check that out. That's it. I hope you guys have a blessed day. God bless.
Nobody showed me the way. It doesn't matter which turn I make. In this circle of hell I stay. Baby, you know that I love you. I'll always be your man. But there's some things I'm going through. Yeah. But I know that you feel for me. You grieve for me, you hurt for me, you're here for me, and you cry for me. So I got to be strong. I know that you are looking out for me. Your love gives me stability, but there's no guarantees. And so I must be strong, I must be strong, I must be strong. Hey, must be strong.